What is baptism? Who should be baptized? And why should we be baptized? Those are three very important questions, and I don't think you'd be watching this video unless you were at least curious about that for yourself or for someone important in your life. And while a short video cannot do justice to the incredibly significant practice of Christian baptism, we do believe these things are some foundational things for us to understand. First, at its most basic level, baptism is a public declaration of someone's belief in Jesus and their surrender to Him. It's an outward display of the inward work that Jesus did in our hearts to save us, wash us clean, and cleanse us of our sin. And while our decision to follow Jesus might happen in private, our declaration of that decision is meant to be public. Baptism goes all the way back to Jesus, and not once in the New Testament will you find a follower of Jesus being baptized in private. It might not be in a public setting like a street corner or even in a church, but it's always with the witness of others that we make this declaration. Also, baptism is generally done by immersion, going fully underwater, either in a pool, a body of water, or a baptism tank of some kind. Here at the Harbor, we follow this immersion model of baptism because that's how Jesus was baptized. But it's also what the word baptism in Scripture means. It means to immerse. We have, on occasion, done sprinkling or pouring of water to accommodate for someone's physical needs, but we always encourage someone to be immersed in the water. So who should be baptized then? Well, first and foremost, we need to understand that baptism is only for those who have surrendered to Jesus. Nowhere in the New Testament will you find any person being baptized who had not repented of their sins, turned to God by faith in Jesus, and surrendered their life to Him. Baptism doesn't save us, Jesus does. But we make that public declaration through our baptism. In Scripture, it also appears to be a practice reserved for adults, or at least someone old enough to make a faith decision and declaration on their own, meaning there doesn't seem to be any evidence of infant or young child baptism in the New Testament. Here at the Harbor, we don't practice infant baptism. We've set the age of baptism at our church to be 8 years old, and there's nothing scriptural or magical about that age. And I know there are children who can understand it before 8. It's just the age that we are comfortable with, having a strong conviction that we want each person to fully understand what they are doing and why. If you're one of our students or children who signs up, there'll be a follow-up conversation you'll have with one of our pastors or leaders in that respective ministry. These conversations are designed to celebrate with you in your desire to be baptized, offer any answers to questions and guidance in your walk with Jesus, or just some suggestions for further understanding. So we've briefly talked about what baptism is and who should be baptized, but why? Why should we be baptized? If baptism doesn't save us, what's the big deal, right? It's a great question, and one we should answer. And the first answer is the simplest, because Jesus commanded it. In Matthew chapter 28, Jesus commands us to baptize anyone who follows Him. Even the call of Jesus to follow Him includes the idea of baptism because Jesus Himself was baptized. It's part of my following in His steps. But there's one level deeper on baptism that I think is an important why for us. It's the mark that baptism is in our faith journey. Baptism is a reminder for me, like a wedding ring to a married person, that my allegiance is to Christ alone. I no longer serve anyone or anything else. I serve the Lord Most High. It doesn't mean we'll live a perfect life, but it means we have a new purpose in life, to honor Jesus and be allegiant to Him and everything we say and do. As I said, we're just touching the surface here, but I hope this gives you a basic understanding of what baptism is, who should be baptized, and why we should be baptized. If you have any further questions or a desire for a conversation, please don't hesitate to let us know. We'd be honored to sit down with you and be able to participate in this part of your faith journey. If you're ready to be baptized, we are ready for you to do that. The dates of our upcoming baptisms are on our website. You can fill out the form there even today. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about baptism. May God fill your day with life and peace.